Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. So I keep getting this question again and again about vocabs. How do I increase my vocab? And this is also one of the most common questions which we keep getting. Now, how do I increase my vocabs? I want to remember so many words, but I'm not able to. Now, first thing we should know that language consists of grammar as well as vocab. You have the structure of the sentences, and then the structure is filled by your words in it. So that is all about vocabulary now. So how do you memorize and how do you keep going? First things first, why are you asking this question, right? If you're doing a specific book, you should never ever ask this question, all right? If you're doing, for instance, Medina books, so stick to the vocabs of the Medina books. Now, don't try to think, oh, Medina books has so little vocabs, yeah, and no, it doesn't have so little. Go into book 3, each lesson has like 60 vocabs. So it says no vocab, it's very limited. No, you're not perfect in the book which you are studying. Why are you thinking about memorizing general vocabs? You see, why are you thinking about memorizing vocabs of some other book, for instance? Okay, so first thing is, if you're doing one book, one course for learning Arabic, never ever think about going outside that book of memorizing vocabs. No, I want to learn vocabs of the Quran and stuff. That's good, alhamdulillah. But that should not be your main focus. Your main focus is to finish the book which you started. Finish Medina books, because learning vocabs is a gradual process. It will come like very slowly. It will come very slowly, and it'll take a lot of time for you to, grasp the meanings of the words and get through it. And so the best policy for learning vocabs is to not care about the vocabs at all. It'll come. Vocabs, you will remember them through repetition, through exposure, right? Exposure in the books, exposure in the language by reading, a lot of reading. And that's the policy I follow. Anytime I teach, anytime I tell the student, don't worry about vocab. That's what I say, because they want to sit down and memorize. Even when I started learning language, that's how people taught Arabic. They give you the word like vegetables, learn all the vegetables. Oh, tamatim and basal and all these, fil. What? I mean, what should I do learning all the vegetables? I mean, I should not become a grocer, right? To sell all these vegetables and stuff. That's what they teach you. Oh, they teach you all the daily items and stuff. It's fine, but what's your it's fine to learn vocabs, but you won't progress at all if you don't learn grammar, if you don't stick to a book of grammar or whatever. And Medina books, for instance, it's a mix, as I said in my earlier class, is a mix of both grammar and vocabs. So don't be a person who lists down all and starts to learn the language by just memorizing. Oh, I'll memorize 5,000 words and I'll get the language. Really? 5,000 words? Are we kids? And okay, for kids, maybe they'll grasp easier. So you have books which are easier with a lot of vocabs and stuff. But still, for the kids also, it is, through reading. So the best solution is not to care at all. I mean, how you just. I mean, I know students whom I teach. They know all the vegetables, almost all the vegetables and fruits and stuff, because they thought that's the best way to learn the language. It's not. It is not. So do not care about the vocabs as much. But yes, we need to increase our vocabs. And the first thing which we can follow is, like I said, is following the set of books. Once you finish Medina books, then you start another set of books, like, for example, Kitabul Asasi or Al-Arabiyatu Bayna Yaday, and focus on the vocabs over there. Now, how do you do that? Just keep reading. Now, just keep reading and note down your new words if you want, or just try to memorize the new word and then keep going on. Because if it's important enough, then it'll always repeat. Now, that's the policy you should follow. If this word is important, it will repeat. Right? You can learn any language like that by just reading, because for the first time you see the meaning. Okay, this meaning ittaja is to lie down, for example. Now you saw it for the first time, then you see it and like again you see the meaning again. Oh, I think I read it before, or you might forget it. Okay, to lie down. Ittaja again came for the third time, to lie down, right? Ittaja'tu, I lied down, right, on my back. So, oh, okay, it came so many times. So now it starts registering in your brain. Now, so you read, because if it's important enough, it will repeat. Now, it will repeat. And so once you finish a set of books, that is Medina books, you go to another set, Arabia Benedict, and you take the vocabs there. Then you go to whichever books you want to read. There's Arabic tutor. And you go to the beginner level books for teaching Arabic. Now, you go to that. Or you go to the Quran, of course. Yeah, how can you forget the Quran? You go and read the words of the Quran. By there's word to word Quran. There's Mohar Ali's Quran, I guess, which gives you the root words of the Quran, or their websites which gives you root words of the Quran. There are books also written, vocabulary of the Quran. There's frequency list, 70% of the words of the Quran. Now you can go and find those words, 80% of the words of the Quran, and you get the verbs of the Quran. There's so many books for the Quran, and never, forget about the Quran. Many people, they go and read thousands of books and they don't want to read the whole Quran in once in the life with meaning, right? To going through the words and so on. So you should go and go through the Quran. There are also apps which you can use. Memorize their apps for Medina books, or various apps like Anki, right, which you can use. They have this flashcard system. What do you call? You can use it, just as a side thing, but do not literally focus. If you are so interested in learning vocabs, you can do that. But know your area of specification. Like, what do you want to read? Do you want to master classical Arabic, Fusha of the Quran and the Hadith? And that's what we want to master. That's my goal. And Muslim students, that's what we want to do. Fusha, Quran and the Hadith. So focus on the Quran and Hadith, right? Read the Quran with meaning and try to understand the verbs and the grammar in it. Second, the Hadith. And Hadith, superb. Yeah, you see in the classes of Sahih al-Bukhari of mine, you'll find the Arabic text here and the English translation here. You need not even refer a dictionary most of the time, many times, because you see the translation and you see the Arabic, you see the translation here. So there are various ways of doing that. Now, even Arabic books are translated, so you need not refer to a dictionary over there. Also, you see the Arabic, and then you see the translation, and it will help you to increase your vocabs. Reading. Then there's websites like Islamqa.info. Now, there are fatawa which are in English. If you go to the English, and then you can change language to Arabic, and top-notch translation, yeah, of Sheikh Saleh Munajjid. Yeah, you can check that website also. It's very good if you want to compare, like, how did they translate this, and this is the new word, and so on. Now, but remember, Arabic is an ocean, right? For just a dog, a lion or something, there are like hundreds of words, right? So many words for lion, and in the classical poetry and so on. So, even for a horse or for a sword, for whatever. So it is an ocean. So how will you conquer an ocean? I mean, you'll always find new words. Many people, now I want to say that many people have this goal that they want to make it like English, right? You go to English, you open any website, generally you can understand stuff, you can casually read it. That'll take a long time to just pick up any book and start reading Arabic. No, it'll take a long time. And especially the more you go back, the books of Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen are really recommended. He speaks very simply, because most of his books are, or many books are video, audio converted into text, lectures, transcripts of the lectures. So it's very simple grammar and stuff, sentence structures and vocabs which he uses. Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah. Don't go to, adibs, who use, literature style books and so on in the beginning. You might go later on when you study adab, literature, or to increase your vocabulary, because there are like hundreds of words in Arabic, right? Go to simple scholars and their books, or choose one scholar. That's what I suggest for reading Arabic books. Choose one scholar and read all of his books. because you get to know his style of his speaking, like Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen. You get to know his style, his speaking, and the way he speaks, the way he, you know, or Sheikh Albani's, you can easily see it's Sheikh Albani's book because he goes into refutation and this and that. You can, rahimahullah, you can easily identify his books. Now, I mean, one who have read his can identify that this is Sheikh Albani speaking. Yeah, yeah, miskin. He says that like he's speaking. Yeah, is very alhamdulillah. He speaks. He writes like he speaks. So you can do that. You can do that, and exposure, as I said, is important for you to keep reading, keep reading, keep reading. Or one more thing is you can write your own personal dictionary. So you have a book, right? You start, write the first page alif, and then write all the words which you have of hamza or alif in the beginning, like asadun or arnabun or whatever. No. Then ba, whichever new word you find. So you leave some pages, maybe 10, 15 pages, and then you write ba. So any time you find a new word like ittaja, this comes in hamza, right? Hamza. So you write it ittaja, to lie down. This is form 8. This is form 8, and go back to the root word if you want, and then try to understand it. There are apps on the mobile phone also, the Quran, Al-Quran, the app is the Al-Quran, and then it's just called Al-Quran. It's a green website. It's a green app. And if you go into that app also, each verse in that, if you click on each word, it gives you the root word of it and the meaning of it. And there are apps for translation also, like Google Translate. You can use it. It's very good. Google Translate somehow translates many times in a proper way, in a contextual way, for translation, for increasing the vocab. So this is what I wanted to say about vocabulary is never to focus. And this is what I got a question from another student recently, that how do I increase the vocab? I asked him, where are you? He said he is in Medina book 2. I'm like, finish Medina book 3 and then ask this question. Now, I mean, that's what they assume, that, oh, I know everything. Yeah, there's this effect, no? Dunning-Kruger effect, I guess. It's called, the starting, when you start learning, you think you have a lot of information, but actually you've not even reached book 3. So you should not have that, you think that you're an expert. No, you're not. Now you just began, and Medina books are just a drop in the ocean of learning Arabic. But you have to start from there. Don't assume that you know all the words and stuff, and try to finish the book. So people are overwhelmed by the vocabs in Medina books itself. Like one lesson has 16 new words. Now what you do, try to read once or twice and try to get the meaning, and then move on. That's what I said. Finish the books and then come back to it and do the books again. Like I said in my review video, right? Don't sit and memorize all the time, because you might get tired. You might not get time. And just look at the meaning in the context and so on. And then try to understand. And yeah, don't write the word in the textbook itself, because your book will be cluttered with all the meanings and you won't remember. Always leave the book empty, the textbook empty, and write it in a separate book. So anytime you read the text, you try to guess the meaning of the word. And then, oh, I forgot this meaning. Then you go and look into the text. Now you go and look into this. So these are some of the opinions and some of my way of thinking about vocabs, is to not think about it. Now, so let me know how you try to, like spaced repetition. Someone said in the last video, someone revised by spaced repetition and vocabs. So let me know how you think is the best way to memorize vocabs, and let us know. But trust me, don't focus on vocabs at all. Just keep reading, try to understand, and keep reading books. Because inshallah, someday you will have a lot of vocabs, and it's an ocean. It's an ocean. So don't worry about it. Jazakallahu Khair and barakallahu feekum. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.